Hey there, young historians. Today, we're going on a fascinating journey to discover how the country we now know as Great Britain came to be. It's a story of how different people with different cultures came together to form one big nation. Once upon a time, in the lands we now call the British Isles, there were four main groups of people: the English, the Welsh, the Scots, and the Irish. Each group had its own unique way of life, with their own languages, traditions, and even their own leaders. But there wasn't a single country called Britain just yet. Let's start with the English. Over time, the English became very powerful and wealthy. They had strong armies and a government that became more powerful than their kings and queens. This English government, called the Parliament, wanted to bring all the different groups together under one rule. But instead of everyone joining in happily, it wasn't that simple. In 1707, something very important happened. The Act of Union was passed. This act was like a special agreement between England and Scotland. It meant that Scotland and England would join together to form a new country called the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Sounds great, right? But here's the thing. The English were much stronger, so they were the ones really in charge. The people in Scotland had their own special way of living, but after they joined with England, many of their traditions were pushed aside. Imagine being told you can't wear your favorite clothes or speak your own language. That's what happened to some Scottish people, especially those who lived in the Highlands. Now, let's talk about Ireland. Ireland had a mix of people who were Catholic and Protestant, and they didn't always get along. The English helped the Protestants take control, which made the Catholics really unhappy. They tried to fight back, but their revolts were stopped. Eventually, in 1801, Ireland was also joined to Great Britain, but not because they wanted to, they were forced. As time went on, the people in these lands started to share some things in common. They began to wave the same flag, called the Union Jack, and sang the same song, God Save Our Noble King. They also started speaking the same language, English. This was the beginning of the British nation we know today. But even though they were now one big country, the older ways of life in Scotland, Ireland, and Wales didn't completely disappear. They became part of Britain, but they kept their unique cultures, even if they weren't as strong as before. And that's the story of how Great Britain came to be. It wasn't always easy, and not everyone was happy about it, but it's a big part of history. Remember, every country has its own unique story, and Britain's story is one of bringing different people together, even when it was difficult. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed learning about the unification of Britain. See you